What's going on, guys? I'm Ghosty, and today we're going to be talking about 5 tips for Tempest. Tip number 1. Mana management is crucial for Tempest as you want to maintain being airborne. The majority of the time when you're playing Tempest, you're going to be using your Wind Gauntlet to be hopping around using Wind Surge, and then your offhand Gauntlet is where a majority of your damage is going to be coming from. So since you want to keep taking advantage of your class skill level 3 and 4 for that sorcery cooldown as well as damage, you want to make sure that you maintain yourself in the air, and running out of mana means you're going to be touching the floor. So you always want to make sure you're watching your mana and keeping yourself airborne. Tip number 2. Don't jump off the ground when you initially use Wind Surge. You'll gain more height if you start while grounded. The way that Wind Surge calculates the lift that you get is based off of how close you are to the ground. So for instance, if you're next to a mountain or a building or anything, you can use the next level up close to you to keep getting even more propulsion and lift, so you can keep getting it higher and higher. But if you're super far from the ground beneath you, nothing's going to happen. Tip number 3. You can utilize Updraft while regenerating mana to gain height, then be able to Wind Surge again. So this goes a bit back into mana management. If you ever come into a spot where you have to end up using all your mana while in the air, you can take advantage of Updraft to keep yourself up there, and by the time that you start going back down from the gravity, you'll have regenerated all your mana and you can start Wind Surging again to keep using Squall and Sudden Gust. Tip number 4. Tornadoes are a great tool to apply elemental interactions for both damage and pressure, so you have room to breathe. If you end up getting into a spot where it's difficult and you're trying to run away to heal, you can use your tornado offensively so that it applies pressure on your opponents and starts dealing that tick damage, and due to the suction on the tornado, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to get to you, giving you that room to reset the fight and then go back in. Tip number 5. Although Tempest is more focused on vertical movement, you can Wind Surge walls, trees, and some rocks horizontally to help your overall mobility. This is really good when you're trying to escape a fight and reset. It does have some uses in combat, but it's a lot more difficult to pull off and could be seen as advanced techniques once you've mastered the class a bit more. But it's super good when you're just trying to run away, try to take advantage of all the trees around you, the walls of the castles. This can be the biggest tool in your arsenal to get away from a fight, reset, and come back in. With these 5 tips for Tempest, you'll be ready to take the wind out of all of your opponent's sails. This is Ghosty, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, to be a master Tempest, just don't miss your shots.